Hey everybody, hunter, fisher, trapper, trader, guide, scout, and interpreter, and country cook. Steve Hall here in Nashville, Tennessee with another recipe that I discovered out on the road again. When we toured around a lot, I found great recipes that I thought I'll bring them back and include them in this series, and that's exactly what I'm doing. Here, I guess it was last winter, we were up in Minnesota doing a little ice fishing, and Sheila and I stopped at a casino. In fact, when I was walking in the door, a guy came running over to me and said, "Can you loan me $100? My mom is real sick, needs medicine." I said, "Wait a second, how do I know if I give you $100 you ain't just going to run in the casino and gamble it up?" He said, "That's stupid, I got gambling money." Anyway, we made it in there, had some fun pulling the penny slots. Then we went into the buffet, and it's just fabulous. They got a little of everything. But I got over in the chicken section, and I'm looking at the regulars: barbecued chicken, baked chicken, fried chicken. I'm thinking, I am just sick of chicken. I am chickened out, you know. I was just ready to leave that section, maybe head over some pasta or something, and I seen a sign that said maple chicken. So I took a piece of it, went over and sat down. Fantastic. I went over and got another piece, and after that I went over and corralled the chef. I said, "Don't make me hold you down and snap you with a rubber band. I need to know how to make that maple chicken." He said, "It's just as simple as one thing." And now I can't remember if theirs had skin on or not, but I'm using thighs, and that's what they had. But I'm using skinless thighs today. And take a look at this. I'll show you what I'm talking about. I got some skinless thighs here, and I seasoned them up with my dad's Magic 4, salt, pepper, onion powder, and garlic powder in equal amounts. Then I add a little more black pepper just for my flavor. Again, salt, pepper, onion powder, and garlic powder. Don't use onion salt and garlic salt, then it's too salty. Sprinkle it on, and we're using this in a slightly deep dish because I want to save the juices. And here's what we're going to put in there: pure 100% maple syrup. Please don't use Mrs. Butterworth or Log Cabin or any of that junk off the shelf that's nothing but Karo syrup and flavoring. This is 100% pure maple syrup. Then here's our turkey baster. Here's our thermometer to make sure that the chicken gets up to about 180 degrees internal temperature. And here's a Cajun injector, because I'm going to tilt this pan once I get enough juice. Not only baste it, but I'm going to inject it inside. And I'll show you what I'm going to do. Now remember, even though this is a non-stick pan, I still sprayed it a little bit. Popped in these chicken thighs, seasoned them up a little bit. We're going to cover it with aluminum foil, pop it in the oven at 350. Let's see what happens. We got our chicken wrapped up in aluminum foil to keep that moisture in there. We have our oven preheated to 350 degrees. Got our rack in the middle there, so it's about halfway between the top and the bottom. And we'll be back to check on you guys in a little bit, and we're going to start the timer as of now. Okay, this has been in here for 30 minutes. Let's check it out. See what we got going here. Get the door closed on the oven. And let's take a fork here and lift this aluminum foil up. All right, we got some juice happening down here, and this is exactly what we want. You know what I'm going to do here is I'm going to take this juice and pour it in a bowl, then add the maple syrup, stir it around, and then pour it back over the top of this chicken. Just give me a second. Now I have transferred the juice from this chicken into this bowl here, and it's time for 100% maple syrup. Again, don't use that other stuff. And I'm going to put in, about a quarter cup. Man, that looks great. Smells good too. Okay, what I'm going to do now is I don't have my little camera girl here today. She's down at her mom's, so I'm doing this all on my own. I'm going to take this little surgical tool here. Actually, it's just a Cajun injector, and I'm going to suck this juice up and shoot it inside of each one of these. I'll see you in a second. All right, I filled my little syringe here. I wouldn't let you be cheated out of this part. Man, these are so tender already. See if I can get it off the end of the syringe there. Whoops. I'm watching what I'm doing, but I'm not watching what the camera's doing. Need a little bit more, which I think I can do one-handed here. All right. Fantastic. Then we're just going to pour the rest of this stuff right on top of the chicken. And then we're going to baste it for another, 10 minutes or so. Yeah, I'm going to pop it back in there just to make sure we're good to go. And I'm going to leave the aluminum foil off now because we got plenty of juice. I'm going to leave the aluminum foil off and I'm going to put it back in the 350 degree oven. This took 30 minutes to get to this point. And I'm going to put it in there for about another 15 and I think we'll be good to go. Here we go. See if we can't get the little mitt on here. Get this open. And again, we're going to put it back in the oven without the aluminum foil. Help it out there. All right, we'll see you in about 15 minutes. Why that chicken is in the oven, this tip is not for you experienced chefs. It's not for you people that cook a lot. It's for you bachelors out there that are just getting started. When you go to get a meat thermometer, remember the one on the right that you're going to stick in a turkey breast or chicken thigh to see if it's done only goes up to about 190 degrees, and it's even got some labeling on there. Poultry, beef, pork, etc. And the one on the left here goes up to 400 degrees. Now that's for your oils. So if you happen to grab this one by mistake, it won't work just sticking it into a turkey, but it will work perfect for hanging in a pot that's got about 6 inches of oil, and when it hits about 360 degrees, drop in your fillet of fish. When you go out crappie fishing, bread it up and drop it in there. It's just perfect. So remember, if it goes to 400 degrees, you'll use that for your oils. If it only goes to 190, obviously it's got the words on there. That's the one for chicken, sticking into a chicken to see if it's done. Again, this was not for you experienced cooks. This is for the beginners out there because we can't leave our bachelors out in the dark or they will starve to death. Well, we're going to check on this chicken in just a minute. Okay, it's been about 10 more minutes with the chicken in here with no aluminum foil on it. They're looking pretty good. Seems like they're even generating more juice. Wowee. Now, again, my video girl is down in Alabama, pretty Miss Sheila, so if I get out of frame with some of this stuff, bear with me. Here's our little turkey baster, and we're just going to keep basting this maple syrup in. All you're doing is you mix up maple syrup in the chicken juice and then just baste it. Hold on one second. Let me lift this up a little bit. Set it up at an angle of the dangle. Put a towel under one end so I can get plenty of juice out of there. Awesome. Perfect. These look done. These really look done already. And they look and smell delicious. You know, it's only been about 5 minutes at 400, but I'm going to pull this out of here because I can hear it simmering in there pretty good. So what we got happening now is our finished product. What we're going to do is we're going to baste this a few more times, and then we're going to let it set and rest for about 10 minutes, and I'm going to take it into the studio, and we'll cut into one of these, and we'll plate it up, and give it our little shotgun red taste test. One other thing, I'm going to save this juice and pour it in a bowl for dipping sauce. All right, let's take it in the studio, let it cool down for about 10 minutes, and then we're going to take a taste test and see what happens. I'd like to say fresh out of the oven, but we actually let them set for about 10 minutes before we're going to carve on one. And I can't wait to taste that taste that I tasted in that casino up north. Maple chicken. You got to give it a try. Let's plate one up. These little babies hit 180 degrees internal temperature. Then we let them cool down for about 10 or 15 minutes. And now we're going to actually stick a fork in one. Oh, I almost hate to do that. But we'll go ahead and put this on a plate. We're going to take a little taste test here like we usually do on Cooking with Shotgun Red. Oh, that's so tender. Look at that. Now remember, we injected that with our surgical tools, and then we also basted it with our turkey baster. It became a chicken baster today. You can even see some of that in there, and I'm going to go ahead and run this around in this little bowl of dippings we retain, which has got all that maple syrup and good chicken juice. You can dip it on top of your chicken, whatever you want to do, but let's give it a taste test and see what the result is. I cheated a little bit. In between camera shots, I already gave it a taste. It's absolutely fantastic. It reminds me of being at that casino and cornering that chef and getting that recipe. Isn't that something? Just one ingredient can change the whole complexity of everything. Bake that in the oven at 350 for about 30 minutes covered, and it'll generate a lot of juice. Pour the juice in a bowl, pour in about a quarter cup of 100% pure maple syrup. Don't use that imitation stuff. Man, uncover it, cook it about another 15 to 20 minutes. You can even jack it up to 400 degrees to get the internal temperature of the chicken the way you want it. And it's outstanding. I'm going to taste this one more time, even though I already ate some. But before I do, I want to say is it the most delicious change of pace chicken you'll ever have? If it ain't, it ought to be. This is Steve Hall in Nashville, Tennessee, saying thanks for watching Cooking with Shotgun Red. And don't forget to hit the subscribe button right in front of you there. Tell your friends. You can always copy the URL up at the top, paste it into an email, and send it to a friend if you find one of our recipes really interesting. I'll see you next time. I'm going to take a bite, so I got to turn the camera off. See ya.